All right, so you're done paying for gas, oil changes and everything else that comes with owning a fossil fuel burning car. You head to the nearest dealership and drive the latest electric vehicle on their lot. You fall in love with the silence and the instant acceleration. The new tech inside is awesome. So you head inside, sign some papers, and you collect the keys to your new EV. And life is good. You never have to visit another gas station again, unless you want potato chips. But how do you charge this thing? How do you account for range drops? And what kind of service does this new machine need? Well, today we're going to go over all the steps and tips on owning and changing your life from an ICE vehicle to an EV. I'm Devin from the Hickman Automotive Group, here to get you up to speed on your new EV. So we'll be breaking this down into 6 different topics to touch on. First thing, what type of EV did you buy? Then we're going to talk about charging rates and the hardware you need at home to help charge your EV. We'll talk about range factors and winter driving techniques, public charging stations, locations and how they work, your maintenance and the regular maintenance you may need on your EV, and finally, we'll talk about the age-old question. Do I still need a gas-powered car with my EV? All right, so let's dive in. What type of EV did you buy? So there's multiple types of EVs, such as HEVs, MHEVs, PHEVs, BEVs, and just EVs. Now that's a lot of acronyms used to describe an electric vehicle, and that may get confusing for first-time owners. In a nutshell though, there's really 3 main categories of EVs. Those that only use gasoline as a fuel input, those that use only electricity, and those that are somewhere in between. Now depending on what system you have in your vehicle, that can affect your charge rates and times and your range, and it all depends on your battery. For example, a plug-in hybrid vehicle, or a PHEV, have been common for many years. They offer the best of both worlds. For example, the new Jeep 4XE platform offers a 2-liter gas-powered engine while also giving you 40 kilometers of fully electric driving range. Typically, a full EV battery pack has anywhere between 50 to 120 kilowatt hours. Like, for example, the new Chevrolet Bolt with its 65 kilowatt hour battery, which has a max charge rate of about 7.7 kilowatt hours on a level 2 charger. Meaning to charge a Bolt from 0 to full, it would take about 8.5 hours. Now on a standard 120 wall outlet, which only delivers about 2 to 3 kilowatts of charge, you may be looking at over just 21 hours to charge. But what does that really break down to? Let's talk about our second point, charging rates and the home hardware you need to charge your EV. So what is a level 1, level 2, and level 3 charger you keep hearing about? So charging stations come in multiple levels, based around the available voltage and output of kilowatt hours that it can deliver. Starting out with the level 1, being a normal wall outlet that you can plug your cell phone in. It delivers between 1 to 3 kilowatt hours of charge time. Next, we have a level 2 charger, which is typically the highest application for a home charger you can get. It runs off a 240 volt input, which is the same as your clothes dryer. It offers up to about 20 kilowatts of output. Finally, we have a level 3 fast charger. As of now, these are used for public commercial applications, offering at times, if your vehicle allows it, up to 350 kilowatt hours of potential charge. Now with the levels out of the way, how do you install a level 2 charger in your home? Well, the best and safest way is to find a local electrician who can install a 240 volt wall outlet either outside by your driveway or in your garage. Most EVs come with their own level 2 chargers from the OEM. However, you can purchase the other brand chargers who offer smartphone connectivity, higher charge rates, and typically a more aesthetic look. Now before you ask, yes, you can charge your EV outside, in the rain, in the shine, hail, or even a snowstorm. The charger connection is fully weather sealed and more than ready to handle any new flying climate. Now that your car is charged, how do we manage the range and winter driving in your new EV? The main concern of any EV owner is the range, or what in the industry gets called range anxiety. I mean, fair. Unlike any ICE car, you simply cannot just go to a gas station and be filled up in 5 minutes. So how do you get the most out of your 300 to 500 kilometer range in your new EV? And to be honest, most of the stuff we mentioned here also relates to fuel efficiency in ICE cars. So let's first talk about your driving techniques. Typically, efficiency is destroyed by start and stop traffic, especially in an ICE-powered car. However, in the EV, typically they are installed with regenerative braking systems, which means every time you hit the brake, it actually charges up your battery. So the more braking you do, the more charge you get. So when driving your EV, make sure you use the max regenerative braking system that you're comfortable with. Some of them can be quite aggressive and even stop the car fully. Also, ease into your acceleration. Don't smash the gas, even if it's fun, because that also helps you save on your range and efficiency. Now, wintertime driving. Usually wintertime and batteries don't usually mix, so does that mean your EV is completely useless? No, not at all. Yes, this will affect your range somewhere between 10 to 20% depending on how freezing temperatures are below zero and the snow that's on the ground. However, unlike your gas-powered car, 9 out of 10 chances your EV will be fully charged every single morning when you go outside. But what happens if your EV is low on range and you're not home? Well, that plays perfectly into our next point. Public charging stations, locations, and how they work. With your EV, you do get prime parking in many locations around town, such as the mall, hospital, arenas, parking garages. Although some of these chargers are free to use, others do require a payment. They're typically based on a kilowatt-hour rating and how long you charge there. But prices can vary. But how do you access these chargers or even find them? Check out the website chargehub.com. It has a map across North America displaying all your public chargers, their level of charge, and if they're in service or not. Now, be mindful when using a public charger to be kind to other EV owners who need a charge. Never park in a way where another owner cannot access the second plug-in. Also, if you're in the area of your car and you've reached your desired charge, be sure to pop back by, move your car to a non-EV charging station so that other people can use it. So let's talk about your maintenance of your EV. So your car's charged, your level 2 home charger is installed, life is good with your EV. What do you have to do now to keep this EV running perfectly? Short answer, windshield wash. No, seriously, EVs are incredibly reliable. There's hardly any moving parts and no need for an oil change, fluid flushes, belts, spark plugs, or anything of that nature. EVs need brake work like a normal ICE car. However, they typically last around 100,000 kilometers compared to 40,000 kilometers in your ICE vehicle. Tire changeovers and possible cooling top-ups are occasionally just to help the thermal cooling system of the battery pack. However, most EV owners are well over 100,000 kilometers with no more than having to change a wiper blade. And finally, the main point, do you still need a gas-powered car if you bought an EV? It's no doubt that buying an EV right now is a lifestyle change, and a change on how you plan your daily route or long road trips. Though it's possible to take a longer range EV on an extended road trip, with routes planned around public charging stations and level 3 fast chargers, family road trips can get a little bit more stressful due to range anxiety. But every day it seems there's a new advancement with range and better battery charging times. So although an EV may not be a perfect fit for you right now, there's certainly one on the way. If you frequently visit outside of town friends and relatives, or otherwise travel beyond your car's typical range, you'll probably want to share a garage space with a gas or hybrid powered model, or just plan your trip around ChargeHub. Most holiday charging stations are found in popular attractions or restaurants and pit stops. So really, at the end of the day, only you can answer if you can have a fully EV driveway. So with all that out of the way, that's where you can start with your EV. Let the gas savings begin. If you have any other questions, feel free to drop by our dealership, but also join the Facebook group Drive Electric NL, which is an awesome resource for EV related questions and ownership. It was started by John Siri, an awesome EV knowledge base who's more than willing to share his knowledge of how to drive an EV as he's owned one for many years. No matter the make, brand, or model, they're always there to answer your questions. John's also the perfect resource when you need a level 2 home charger. So that's it for me. I'm Devin from the Hickman Automotive Group. Hope you enjoy all your drives with your new EV. See ya.